Hey Vision Chasers, it's Dr. Bird here with another social studies lesson for you today. Today's lesson is actually a request from Iman. And Iman, wherever you are, I thank you so much for supporting this channel, and I'm glad to hear that what we're doing here at Vision Chasers is helping you as you pursue your vision of excellence. Iman's question was about Harry Truman and World War II. In 1944, President Franklin Roosevelt was elected to his historic fourth term as President of the United States. But by this time, he was 63 and his body was showing signs of age. By 1944, Roosevelt was on his third vice president, and this time he chose Harry Truman from the great state of Missouri, my state, to be his running mate. Now, this move was largely a political move because Roosevelt knew that Harry Truman was liked in the big cities as well as in the South. Sadly, Roosevelt never finished his fourth term as he died on April 12, 1945. And a man who many never thought would be president took the oath of office. Now, it was very challenging for Truman to follow in FDR's footsteps. And one of the reasons was because it was never even considered that Truman would have to take over for Franklin Roosevelt. As a matter of fact, during his 82 days as vice president, Truman rarely met with FDR. He had no knowledge of the top secret Manhattan Project and the atom bomb. FDR also chose not to enlighten Truman about the possibility of trouble with Stalin and the Soviet Union after the war was over. When President Truman had to give his first public speech, the main idea was that the United States would accept nothing less than total surrender from its enemies. Take a listen to this first speech from Harry Truman.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the Congress, it is with a heavy heart that I stand before you, my friends and colleagues in the Congress of the United States. Only yesterday we laid to rest the mortal remains of our beloved President, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So that there can be no possible misunderstanding, both Germany and Japan can be certain, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that America will continue the fight for freedom until no vestige of resistance remains. We are deeply conscious of the fact that much hard fighting is still ahead of us.
Now, later that same month, Adolf Hitler would commit suicide, and Victory in Europe Day, or VE Day for short, would be declared on May 9th, 1945. However, the Japanese military showed no signs of slowing down. So as it relates to Japan, President Truman was presented with two options. Option one was to extend the war for possibly another year of fighting, which would cost almost 200,000 American casualties. Option two was to use the atomic bomb created in the top secret Manhattan Project. In an effort to save American lives, Truman decided to drop the atomic bomb. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima. This killed or wounded over 150,000 people. 3 days later, another atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, killing or wounding another 40,000 people. And here on your screen, you see some of the pictures of the effects of such a weapon and what it does to the human body, what it does to the skin. There were reports of people just vanishing into ashes in an instant because of this intense heat. Later, there would be birth defects as a result of this weapon. And even to this day, people tell stories of what happened to them on that day. Very powerful weapon of mass destruction the atomic bomb was. And so on September 2nd, 1945, the Japanese would formally surrender, which would bring an end to the fighting of World War II. And this day was also known as VJ Day, or Victory over Japan. The other issues that took Truman by surprise were the disagreements between the United States and the Soviet Union about what to do with the former Nazi European territories. In February of 1945, Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, promised FDR that there would be free democratic elections in Poland. However, by the spring of 1945, Joseph Stalin had gone back on his promise and installed a communist government in Poland. Now, President Truman would take a very tough stance with the Soviet Union as a result of their broken promise. In May, Truman attended the Potsdam Conference. This would be the last meeting of the Big Three. Now, the Big Three were high-ranking members of the United States, the Soviet Union, and Great Britain. Now there, they came to many agreements about post-war Europe. The biggest agreement was that the United States, France, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union would each occupy zones that consisted of Germany and other conquered territories of Germany. Now take a look at this map here. As you can see, the Soviet Union has the eastern portion, and the western portion is split up amongst Great Britain, France, and the United States. Now, splitting Germany up into zones was just the beginning. As World War II was coming to an end, President Truman could see that a new war with the Soviet Union was just beginning. The communist government in Soviet Union felt that the capitalists would eventually surround them and ultimately encourage their removal from power. As a result, the Soviet Union would extend their control over Eastern European countries by encouraging them to adopt communism as a form of government. So when Truman took over the presidency, he had a lot to learn very, very quickly. He had to make a very, very difficult decision to use a weapon of mass destruction that would harm many innocent people. He also realized that even as the fighting in World War II was ending, a new Cold War was brewing with the Soviet Union. Well, that's our lesson for the day. Please check the Vision Chasers website for more tips and information to help you chase your vision of success. Also, there's a worksheet for download with this video as well to further help you understand Harry Truman and World War II. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Bird, and please keep chasing the vision. Bye.